We spent your savings on some better kids. My dad said it at Thanksgiving without blinking. I just asked, better than my kids? My mom smirked. You should be proud you're sacrificing for your stepbrother's family. Grandma stood up, face hard, and yelled, name those kids, right now. My name is Greg. I'm 36, a commercial pilot, the oldest of three, the one who keeps a go bag packed and my phone on loud. I like flight plans, lists, quiet cockpits at 3 a.m., and coffee that tastes like a bad idea. I do Denver, Seattle a lot. Sometimes Europe. I've missed more birthdays than I want to admit. I still send gifts on time. I overtip when I get home because the gate agents and line crews save my days more than anyone knows. Everyone in my family calls me responsible. They say it like it's a weather pattern I brought with me. Thanksgiving is the only holiday I try not to miss. Even if I land, grab a shower at a crash pad, and show up smelling like jet fuel and hand soap, I go. This year I walked into my parents' house with a store pie, 2 boxes of rolls, and a headache behind my right eye from flying the red eye and then sitting in traffic. Greg's here, my mom called from the kitchen. It sounded cheerful, like she wanted an audience. I hugged Grandma first. She squeezed my arm like she was checking I still had muscle. You look tired, baby, she said. Occupational hazard, I told her. My stepbrother, Tyler, was already camped on the couch, shoes off, socks gray at the heels. His wife, Amber, scrolled on her phone, tapping like she was paid by the swipe. Their twins ran loops around the coffee table, nearly decapitating a paper turkey. I put the boxes on the counter, dodged a boiling pot, and washed my hands. Dad carved the turkey like it owed him money. He nodded at me. How's the sky, Captain? Still up there, I said. How's retirement? He loved when I asked. He opened his mouth, but Mom leaned in instead. Before we sit, she said lightly, let's do Grace first. We lined up. Plates. Steam. Grandma patted the chair next to her. I took it. The kids banged forks. The dog whimpered. It was all loud and normal. Dad cleared his throat. Lord, thank you for family, he said. For opportunity. For generous hearts. We chorused amen. I passed the rolls. Tyler snatched the biggest breast piece like he was competing. I laughed because I was trying to be good. Then Mom did the thing she always does, tilted her head, bright smile, voice just a little too loud. Greg, she said, we should update you. Since you're here. I paused with the gravy boat midair. Update me on what? Tyler kept chewing. Amber didn't look up. Dad didn't blink. We spent your savings on some better kids, Dad said, just like he was reading a recipe. Calm. Strange. Like the words weren't explosives. I stared. Better than my kids? Mom smirked. You should be proud you're sacrificing for your stepbrother's family. Gravy hit my plate so hard it splashed. The twins shrieked. Grandma pushed back her chair. She stood up slow, face tight, and pointed at my parents like she was calling a foul at center court. Name those kids, she said, voice sharp enough to cut the room. Right now. The dog went quiet. So did I. Something cold slid behind my ribs. I knew this feeling from turbulence. The bump you don't see, then everything drops. I put the gravy down. What are you talking about? I asked. My voice sounded like I was talking to ATC through static. Mom laughed a little. Let's not make it dramatic. Name the kids, Grandma repeated louder. Name the children you just called better. Dad's jaw flexed. Tyler finally stopped chewing. Amber set her phone face down, as if she wanted to look respectful while being protected from reality. Sit, Mom told Grandma. Please, Mother. Grandma didn't sit. She looked at me. Gregory, she said softly, listen. I was already listening. Every nerve was listening. The plane inside my chest started to roll. I grew up with a flight map taped to my ceiling. Not for romance. Not for some dreamy kid thing. For escape routes. When my parents divorced, I learned early. If I made myself useful, I could stay out of the blast radius. I mowed lawns, fixed the Wi-Fi, drove my little sister, Molly, to piano. When Mom remarried, Tyler arrived like the loud commercial at the end of a quiet show. I didn't hate him. We were teenagers. He liked sneakers and attention. I liked books about weather and a simulator that ran off a wheezing laptop. Mom said, be a good example. I was. I kept my head down, graduated, joined the Air National Guard because it was the only way I could fly without drowning in debt, then clawed my way into the right seat of a 737. I stacked cash in a high-yield savings account with a dumb nickname, Runway. Every month, more. Every delay, more. Every overnight in a hotel with a brown carpet, more. I wasn't hoarding. I was building a buffer so Molly would never need to ask anyone else for help, and so someday, when I had a family, I'd be present and not panicked. My parents knew about the runway fund. Not the number, just the idea. I kept it separate, and I kept my mouth shut. But when you're the guy who always pays for the airport parking, people notice. It turns into a story about you. Greg's got it. It sounds like a compliment. It's not. Mom has a little phrase she loves. Family money is flexible. It means your money is ours, and ours is ours. She used it when Tyler needed new tires. When Amber's bridal shower ran over budget. When Dad wanted to float a friend who was, coincidentally, always just about to pay him back. Each time, I said no. Each time, I was told I was cold, stingy, ungrateful. When Molly got into flight school last year, the small regional program near our hometown, she called me from the parking lot, crying with joy, acceptance letter shaking in her hand. I'll help, I said before she asked. I meant the deposit and the first semester bill. We set up a plan. I built a spreadsheet like a flight plan, legs, fuel, contingencies. I put the runway fund to work. It felt right. It felt like the whole point. I told Mom because I was happy. She said, "Finally, you're doing something meaningful with all that money." Then she added, "Just be careful. You know how women are with careers and babies." She said it with that sing-song voice like she was telling me to bring a sweater. I ignored it. Molly had grit. She held a flashlight for me under a Corolla at midnight once, changing a belt. That's the person I wanted to bet on. In August, I was flying a 4-day. On day 2, my phone exploded during a short sit in Phoenix. 6 missed calls from Molly. 2 from Grandma. 1 from an unknown number. Then a text from Mom. "Call when you land." Nothing major. Just logistics. It wasn't nothing. When I returned the calls, Molly was quiet. "It's okay," she said, which meant it wasn't. "Mom and Dad said they'll help since you're busy. They said you said it was fine if they handled tuition. Don't stress." I didn't say that. I told her, stepping into a corner of the crew room. "Where are you?" "In line at the registrar," she said. Amber came with me. Amber. She said she knows financial stuff. I checked the time. I had exactly 9 minutes before I needed to pre-flight. "Do not sign anything," I said. "I'm wiring the deposit tonight." She hesitated. "They already paid it," she said. "Said it was easier that way." "Who paid it?" I asked. "Dad," she said. "From your account." "It's fine." I stared at my phone like it had lied to me. "From my what?" "The runway," she said gently. "Greg, they said you told them the login because you were flying. They said family money is flexible. I know you're upset. Please don't be. Tyler had a line on a discount if we bundled with his stuff." "Bundled with what?" My voice climbed into the nasal place I hate. "Little things," she said. "Tyler's business credit. The twins' preschool fees. It's just for now. He said it evens out." I swallowed hard enough to hear it. "Put Mom on," I said. "She's parking," Molly said. "Greg, I have to go." I cut in because the PA dinged and a gate agent waved. "Do not sign anything." I said it again. I said it like a prayer. Then I flew a plane full of strangers safely to San Jose while a storm built behind my eyes. That night, in a hotel that smelled like oranges and old carpet, I opened my banking app. Error. I tried again. Error. Then the lockout screen. Then a text. "We noticed unusual activity. Please confirm this device." I confirmed. I finally got in. The number did not make sense. I scrolled. Deposits leaving as transfers. Memos like family bundle, church raffle, Tyler, vendor hold, Amber, education consult, twin tuition catch up. And then, at the bottom, an ACH to a school that was not my sister's. I copy-pasted it. I searched. A private academy across town. Tyler's twins. I called Mom, hands shaking. She answered in that calm voice she uses when she knows she's wrong. "Greg, honey, you're probably confused by the labels." "You took my savings," I said. "We redirected it," she corrected. "You're gone all the time. You don't need it like the kids do." "My sister is the kid," I said. "Tyler's kids, too," she said brightly. "They're part of us." "And Amber's classes?" "She's getting a certificate. It'll help her manage Tyler's business." I stared at the ceiling. "You stole from me." "Don't be dramatic," she said. "Your father had power of attorney for when you were deployed." It rolled. "I haven't been deployed in years," I said. "And that authorization expired." There was a pause. I could hear her breathe. "Well, the bank didn't say anything," she said. "And we're family." That night, I wrote down transactions on hotel stationery because I needed to see them in ink. I added columns. I totaled. I sent a screenshot to my dad and to Mom and to Tyler and to Amber and, because she's the only person in this family who tells the truth, to Grandma. "No more transfers," I wrote. "Freeze this now. We're meeting at Thanksgiving. Do not touch Molly's tuition." Refund everything else. Dad replied, calm down. We'll make you whole. Tyler replied with a thumbs up emoji. Amber replied, let's talk when you're not flying. Mom replied, we can't refund a preschool. Don't be selfish. Grandma replied with a single line, I'll be there. I added 2 more deposits to the runway fund from my next paychecks because I'm the kind of idiot who tries to fix a fire with more wood and a map. I called my bank. I set up new guardrails. I locked down access and watched the email confirmations roll in like digital sandbags against a flood I hadn't caused. By the time Thanksgiving arrived, I had rehearsed a speech in my head. Not aggressive, calm, data and dates. Like I do on the radio when we're rerouting around a storm and everyone wants to talk at once. Then Dad said, better kids. Then Grandma stood. Grandma's eyes were on Dad. Say their names, she said. Say who is better than Greg's children. Dad put the knife down. He folded his hands like he wanted to look reasonable. Mother, that's not what I... Names, she snapped. Tyler half laughed. She's asking about the twins. I know who she's asking about, Dad said, heat finally leaking into his voice. He looked at me. Greg, you don't even have kids. I stared at him. The room wobbled, then clicked into focus. My kids are my responsibilities. I tapped the table with one finger, steady. Molly's tuition. The mortgage down payment I've been saving for so my future family starts safe. Emergencies I budget for because life happens at 2 a.m. over Nebraska. Amber scoffed. Okay, poet. Grandma didn't move. Name the children. Dad's jaw set. Tyler's twins, he said. And future kids. Our family's young ones. We're investing where it matters. I looked at Molly. She was holding her napkin like a flag about to be dropped. Her eyes were wet. Greg, she started. Not you, I told her. Never you. Mom smiled the way people do when they think they've framed the conversation. This is what we were trying to explain at the registrar. Money should flow to where it creates the most value. Value. Grandma repeated, deadly quiet. Tyler leaned back. Bro, it's not personal. You're a pilot. You keep getting paid. The twin school doesn't care how hurt your feelings are. I reached for my backpack on the floor and placed a folder on the table. I had printed statements. I had a ledger. I had timestamps. These are the transfers, I said. These are the dates. These are the accounts. This is the exact number you took for preschool, for consulting, for your credit card bill masked as a vendor hold, for Dad's church raffle donation that somehow came out of my account, and for the family laptop that is sitting right now in your Instagram story next to a ring light. Amber's mouth tightened. You went through my story? You posted it, I said. Mom waved a hand. Stop being petty. I slid another paper out. Power of attorney revocation, I said. Dated 2 years ago. Signed. Witnessed. Filed. It's done. Dad reached for it. I kept my hand on the corner. And bank confirmations, I added. You no longer have access. If $1 leaves my account without my authorization, we move from family conversation to police report. Tyler snorted. You gonna call the cops on your parents, Captain Rules? I met his eyes. Calm. I'll do what's necessary to protect what I'm responsible for, I said. That's what adults do. Adults share, Mom snapped. You've always been so rigid. Disciplined, Grandma said. He is disciplined because you taught him that love is conditional on utility. Silence. Even the kids stopped clinking their forks. I turned to Molly. Your tuition is paid from my new account, I said. Directly to the school. You'll get an email tonight. We'll never again bundle anything. Her face crumpled with relief and shame. I'm sorry, she whispered. You didn't do this, I said. I looked back at Dad. You owe me the amount you took for the church raffle and whatever you slid to Tyler's card, I said. You have 30 days. Dad's ears went pink. Watch your tone. Watch your actions, Grandma said, voice like gravel. Greg, keep talking. I nodded. Tyler, you have 60 days to return the preschool payments you charged to my account, I said. If you can't, the school can invoice you directly. I will send them the documentation. Amber stood up halfway. You wouldn't. Try me, I said. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my gums. You two chose a private academy. You two can fund it. Mom laughed once, a sharp bark. And what? We just pretend family doesn't help family. We pretend nothing, I said. We draw a line. We keep it. Dad shoved his chair back. You're ungrateful, he said. We raised you. Grandma's hand hit the table. You exploited him, she said. You used legal documents you did not have to reach into his pocket like he was a vending machine for your favorite boy. Tyler rolled his eyes. Mother. Shut up, she told him without looking. The twins stared wide-eyed. I softened my voice. Hey guys, I said to them. Want to help me with the rolls? They nodded and scrambled down, grateful for any mission. Kids understand storms even when they don't know the words. I stood. I'm taking Grandma and Molly for a walk, I said. Dad, Mom, when I come back, I expect to hear a plan for repayment. I expect to hear you say you're sorry. Not sorry I made you, but sorry we did this. Mom opened her mouth. I raised a hand. Save it, I said. You've been talking for years. I looked at Grandma. She nodded once. We left the table like we were evacuating a cabin, single file, nothing dramatic, just precise. Outside, the air was cold enough to bite. I breathed it like I'd just cleared 10,000 feet of chop. We walked past the maple that used to be a stick the year Dad planted it. The leaves had finally let go. Grandma tucked her arm in mine. Molly walked on my other side, small again for a second, the girl who held flashlights. I knew something was off, Grandma said, shoes crunching on old leaves. Your mother's been bragging about Tyler's entrepreneur spirit. Thought it meant he finally got a job. He has a job, I said. It's my account. Molly made a wet sound that wasn't a laugh. I should have called you sooner, she said. I didn't want to be a burden. You are never a burden, I said. If you call me at 3 a.m., I'll answer on the first ring. She nodded, but I could see it didn't land yet. It takes time to overwrite a script. We circled the block once. Twice. I checked my watch like it was a timer for cooling engines. I didn't want to go back in. I didn't want to stay out. I wanted to be in a cockpit where the problems are technical and the checklist is printed. Grandma broke the silence. You did right, she said. You used facts. You didn't yell. I wanted to, I said. Of course you did, she said. Yelling is for people who think being loud is the same as being right. We went back in. The house smelled like cinnamon and hot plates. Dad was by the sink, shoulders tight. Mom stood near the stove, arms folded. Tyler and Amber had vanished to the yard, probably to film a story about gratitude. The twins were on the floor with the dog and a Lego person who'd lost his hair. Dad turned. We talked, he said. We'll make you whole. When? I asked. Mom sighed. Don't be a bill collector in your own home. I am in my own home, I said. It just happens to be yours today. Dad rubbed the back of his neck. 60 days, he said. 30, I said. And I want the first transfer by Friday. Not a promise. A wire. He stared at me. We stared back. Fine, he muttered. Good, I said. Also, you will call the school and remove my name from any arrangement with Tyler. You will give them his billing info. Today. Mom made a face. But what if the school calls us? They can call Tyler, I said. We sat down again because Grandma told us to sit. She poured herself a small glass of wine like she'd earned it, and she had. She lifted it in my direction. To Lines, she said quietly. To Lines, I echoed. Dinner was awkward, then not. The twins told me about a class pet with a dramatic history. Molly told Grandma about a simulator she loved. Mom tried to steer the conversation toward Tyler's business, and Grandma stared at her until she stopped. Dad chewed and chewed and chewed like the turkey was the problem. After dessert, Tyler and Amber reappeared. Amber's smile was sugar glass. We're all one family, she said. This felt confrontational. Choices have consequences, I said. That's not confrontation. That's gravity. Tyler shuffled, then squared up. Look, bro, he said, softer. I got in over my head. I thought I'd make it back quick with this drop-shipping pivot. Stop, I said gently. Do not pitch me. He closed his mouth. It might have been the first time I'd ever seen him do it. You can send whatever you want back in installments as long as they add up by day 30, I said. But I am not underwriting your life. He nodded once. Okay. Amber bristled. You make so much money up there in your little plane, she snapped. It's easy for you to act superior. I make money because I work when most people are asleep, I said. And because I learned from the two of you exactly what happens when you don't plan. She didn't like that. She left the room. Tyler followed, shoulders slumped. Mom cornered me by the fridge. You humiliated us, she said, under her breath. You stole from me. I said, not under mine. She blinked. We didn't, not really. We managed resources. Call it what you want, I said. It will not happen again. Her mouth wobbled, then smoothed. You've always been so proud, she said. I've always been careful, I said. Pride is what made you call the twins better. She jerked like I'd hit her. I didn't. You did, I said. One day, they'll be old enough to remember it. She looked toward the living room where the twins were trying to put a Lego helmet on the dog. Something in her face softened, then hardened. You don't understand, she whispered. We never got help. We wanted to do it differently. You did it differently by making someone else the parent, I said. You chose me. You just didn't ask. Grandma's voice floated in from the doorway. The bill for doing it differently is due, she said. Pay it. That night, after I dropped Grandma at her house and hugged Molly in the driveway until she laughed because I wouldn't let go, I sat in my car and opened my banking app. A pending transfer, $2,000 from Dad. Memo, partial. I exhaled. Not gratitude. Not forgiveness. Just data. A first step. The next morning, I sent an email to the school. Please remove me from any billing arrangements related to the last name twins. Please attach Tyler, last name, and Amber, last name, for future invoices. I CC'd Dad. I CC'd Mom. I attached the ledger again because I wanted the facts to live in more than one place. Then I drove to the airport, parked, rolled my carry-on across cold concrete, and felt the smallest click of a boundary setting into place. Boundaries aren't fences. They're flight plans. You file them. You follow them. And when weather changes, you adjust, but you still know where you're headed. Over the next 2 weeks, the wires came in choppy. $600. $400. $1,500. Twice, nothing. I kept a log. I sent a polite reminder. 17 days remaining. Dad replied with a period and nothing else. On day 19, I got a call from an unknown number. The preschool. We have a question about tuition, the woman said. We have you listed as. You don't, I said evenly. You have Tyler and Amber. Please check your email from November 24th. A pause. Yes, she said. I see it. My apology for the confusion. No problem, I said. Happy to clarify. After I hung up, I sat on a bench in the quiet part of the terminal and let my hands shake. Not from fear. From the come down. The adrenaline tax. I let it pass. Then I ate a stale protein bar and boarded. The last transfer cleared on day 28. Memo. We're even. We weren't. Even isn't about numbers. Even is about trust. You can't wire that. I didn't tell anyone at work. Pilots are good at talking about checklists and bad at talking about mothers. But on a turn through Portland, the captain I was flying with rested his coffee on his knee, laced, and said, You okay, man? You've got that 1,000-yard stare of someone who slept in his car once. I'm fine, I said. He nodded like he'd said the same sentence before. If you need a day, he said, take a day. I'll take a boundary, I said. Good trade, he said. December slid into January. Molly texted me pictures of a wing she'd learned to inspect. Look, she wrote. Fuel cap. Coach said I'm a natural. I saved it. I sent her a photo of the sunrise over clouds so smooth they looked fake. I typed, You belong up here. She sent back 3 crying emojis and a plane. Mom sent a mass text about a New Year's brunch. I didn't go. I sent a note. Can't make it. I'm flying. Hope it's nice. It was polite. It was true. She replied, We missed you. And then a picture of Tyler and the twins in matching sweaters. No apology. No reflection. Just the surface of the thing. That used to gut me. Now it just registered as whether I didn't have to fly through. Grandma called me every Sunday. She told me about her neighbor who snowblowed the wrong driveway. And about her new doctor who looked 12. Then she'd say, How's your heart? And I'd say, Learning. And she'd say, Good boy. Last week, after a long Zurich turn, I brought Grandma oranges. She opened the door in slippers, kissed my cheek. You look like you crossed 3 time zones. We drank tea at the tiny table. Your mother says you're punishing them, she said. I'm not. I'm protecting me. She heard that from me. Grandma nodded. Silence. The clock ticked. A plow scraped by. When your grandfather taught you to drive, she said, he made you say, I am responsible for the car and everyone in it. You were 12. I remember. At some point, you pick who rides. I don't want them cut off, I said. I just can't be the bank. Then don't. The price is a boundary and an apology. If they can't pay it, they stay home. I looked at my plane pilot hands and thought about how responsible became a leash. I saw that Thanksgiving table again. Dad's better. Grandma standing Molly's eyes. My hands didn't shake now. I feel lighter, I said. I sleep. I eat sitting down. Freedom has boring symptoms, she smiled. On the way out, I straightened the Maples crooked tag. It felt good. In the car, I typed, deleted, then sent. I love you. I won't fund your choices. Respect that. I'm here. If not, I wish you well. No speech. Just a filed plan. At the crew lounge, a new FO slumped. You okay? Blew the engine out. You'll fix it. He half smiled. You also choose what you're responsible for. In the sim. In life. Later, at 36,000 feet, I thought about better kids. My kids are my responsibilities. Future family, Molly's dream, my boundaries. The captain glanced over. Smooth. Smooth. I'm Greg. Pilot. Former wallet. Owner of my time and peace. If respect returns, I'm here. If not, I'll keep flying. The sky's still there. Plan filed. Weather clear.